Hello, welcome to UCLIQ Educational Series Episode 2. In Episode 1, we explored how to create advertisers and advertiser accounts. Now, the next logical step would be to start configuring your offers. Before we go to offers, you have to know that every offer has to have a particular category and several additional categories and later are not necessary, but you have to have a default category. So category is something you can differentiate your offer types in terms of what kind of content, product, services they promote. So just to give you an example, you may have like e-commerce, education, dating, iGaming, consulting, pharmacy, supplements, and so on and so forth. So it's up to you how you split your offers into categories, but usually you get information about offer from your advertiser, and you may use this information to create your category. So let's create a category. We go into settings under system, and here we can find our offer categories. So let's look. We have a bunch of categories here, and some of those are good examples. It's a demo platform. What you may have, so we have like financial, education, e-commerce, download, gambling, gaming, mainstream, sweepstakes, brain health, and so on and so forth. You may have pretty much anything. Let's add a category. So it's very simple. It's just a name and a status. So we will call it test category. Okay, sorry. We set up as active, and here we are. So in first step, we configured advertiser account. Now we will create an offer for this advertiser account. We go into menu, offers, and the submenu offers. And we see our current configured offers here with a lot of information. Let's explore this information. What we have two possible views in cards, like you see now, or in grid. So if you have a bunch of them, and you may choose to use this one because it's more concise way to provide with a lot of information. So if we go in cards, we see first of all status of the offer, and we will explore it inside the offer. But obviously green is active, and this one is another status. Most likely it's draft, and this is disabled, and so on and so forth. Then we see internal number of offer. It's your offer ID. Then we see a name of the offer. Here we can open a new tab or window, depending on your browser settings, where we can present information about this offer, or we may just click it. Then it will open in a current window. Here we see a performance of the offer, and here is geography. This offer accepts all international traffic, for example. We'll look into it inside. And here is information about other configurations, such as targeting parameters, financial parameters, and so on and so forth. So, for example, this offer accepts all devices. It's set up as a cumulative. We'll look into it later. It's available as a part of a brokerage offering, and we have a default payout. We have expected payout. But this is a fixed rate. Sorry, it's not default payout. It's a fixed rate, but can be default fixed rate, right? And this is expected payout is just informational. It's something shown to your publisher. You can put some kind of average numbers there. This is an advertiser account this offer is assigned to, and we have a number of conversions on this offer, and we have main category, something we just set up. Let's create a new offer. So we will select a name of the offer. As you may see, we have two names, name and original name. So the name, and just a reminder, in pretty much any forms and pages on the site, you will see this little question marks where you can get information about any kind of more complex settings that may not be pretty obvious. So you get like explanation there. So you don't need to read manuals. You can just get it on the fly pretty much. So as you can see, the name is abbreviated name that will be shown in a publisher panel. So you should never include any sensitive information about like some payout, some restriction, something you agree with your advertiser that you do not want to make public to your webmasters, affiliates, publishers, partners. And so you just select generic name. It's called test offer one. Original name is it's more like a note, and this is usually something you received from your advertiser. So in many cases, you will have a long name with a lot of parameters in it. So it will have like targeting parameters, geography, accepted country list, some kind of payout structure, some kind of goals like soy, doi, share, and something else, right? So it's more like a big note rather than a name, but this is how it's being done in industry. So for your convenience, you just can copy paste it, so you don't have to cross-reference some other records you have, and you just keep it here, and you can find offer by this field as well. So original name we put test offer international, and yeah. Now next step, we select an advertiser. We just created a test advertiser account one. This is what we're going to select. Expected payout, like I said, it's just an informational something that you may put, maybe average, median, or most typical payout. It's more just information for your publisher what to expect, but it's not bearing any kind of meaning in sense of processing information or kind of payout structure or treating by the system. So for system is just basically a note to show to your publisher. Let's say $5. And here we select the main category, something that we just created, and it's called test category in our case. So we add an offer, and that automatically opens an offer to us. So what we see here. So first of all, what is very necessary to understand? It's an offer status. We see it on top right corner. It says draft. Draft mean offer is created, but it's not filled with necessary information, so it cannot be used. Uh, you can change offer status by just hovering or clicking on a change status button right below it. So you have statuses. So initial status will always be draft. When you fill offer with information, you will change it to new. And once you have it in new, you can activate it. And you can also set up automatic activation or automatic deactivation. So you can set up date and time when offer will go automatically, something that you may do in promotional materials with your publishers, like big launch of the offer, and you don't have to kind of log in and struggle to launch it right in time. You can do it automatically. We will look into it later. For now, we need to do some basic configuration. So let's go screen by screen. So cover, it's something, it's a small image you can upload, and it will be shown in publisher panel. And so publishers will have easy time to associate your offer with visual graphics, so they don't have to necessarily remember the name properly and distinguish from other similar name because they can see a graphic. And to continue this theme of graphic, you actually have creative section below where you can upload promotional materials for your offer. It can be some screenshots, can be some information like graphics, images you receive from your advertiser, and publishers will be able to download it in their publisher panel and use it for their own marketing, to support their posting information about this offer, run advertising campaign, and something like that. Let's go at the first section, which is an overview. So we have name we created, we have expected payout, we have campaign availability. It says to private, which means by default, this offer won't be visible to publishers. Let's open it up. So by default, they won't see it. So you can assign it to them personally, but they won't be able to see it by themselves. To make it visible, you should select available. If you select on request, it will be visible, but they cannot use it without explicit approval from your offer manager or publisher manager, Basically, system will create a request, manager will be able to see it, approve or decline it. So it's just like it says on request. Fallback is a parameter that will direct system how to behave in case offer can't accept this traffic, or offer cap is limited, or any other reason offer cannot be used for this traffic. So to ensure the traffic is not lost, we create a fallback. So you have three options, and depending on your plan and the availability of the features, you may have less. So system is something you configure once. I will show you in the system parameters. And it's like a general link where you can send all the unsuitable traffic. It can be some other offer on some other platform, or offer inside your platform that accept any traffic. So a good example could be something like sweepstakes, or some kind of games or app, pretty much acceptable to any geography. It should be an offer that works with pretty much anything. Manual is you can put the URL here. If you're using offer from your own platform, you just go to publisher platform, create a tracking link, and put it here. And you can provide with additional parameters here, just in normal tracking link. And smart is basically a mechanism for a system to select next best suitable offer within the same category and prioritize offers with higher EPC EPM, basically working in concept of our machine learning, artificial intelligence smart link. So you can treat it like creating on a fly a virtual smart link and selecting next best offer using this smart link. However, this option is not available if you don't have smart links package, uh, and other options are available for any plan. Here you can put some description of the offer. You can put some graphics, so pretty much can be pretty extensive, and some comments. So let's say if we just made this offer available to the public. Here's a section with statistics. So far, we don't have any activity on the offer, so it will be obviously 0. Next important session is traffic requirements. So if you look at the traffic requirements, we first have to select the geography. So for now, it says all countries. Uh, you have three options here: all, selected, or excluded. So if you do all, basically offer will accept traffic from any geography which is determined by IP address. If you do selected, you can either select it manually, any number of countries you want, or you can put a badge. Basically, usually it's a part of the offer name that your advertiser sends to you. Remember, we configured this information as part of original name, and you just can copy paste a part with country codes and something like US. Can be, you can separate them by slash or comma and space. Usually, in many cases, it's just slash. US. And the reason it says doesn't exist because we didn't put the next one. And let's say Canada. So this offer will accept only countries such as US and Canada. If you put a slash at the end, it means you want to enter another one. So you don't put a slash or space or comma after the last one. Or you can do excluded, which means it will be all countries except ones you select. So selected, it will be none except once you select. Excluded will be all except once you select. Let's leave it as all. Devices. So desktop, mobile, you can choose one or both traffic types. And remember, we configure traffic types within advertiser accounts. So you can only select all or some of the traffic types that are available for advertiser account. And the reason for it, because in majority of cases or all cases, advertisers will tell you, we only accept this type of traffic, never send us anything else, right? And this is what you put into advertiser account. For particular offers, is we accept only this and this. but it will always be within the broader scope of all traffic they accept. And if we don't put anything, it will accept all traffic from advertisers. Platform groups, basically Android, Mac, Windows, and we don't need to select anything, it will be all. Financials, that's one of the most important sections. So for this demo, we have a full set of features configured, including brokerage. Um, Depending on your tariff plan, some of the features may not be available, such as if you have plan without brokerage features and without custom rates, it means you will only have this ratio enabled. So let's start with this payout model. As you can see, it's basically information from your advertiser about type of the offer. So it may be PPL, paper lead. So it can be soy or doi or something like that, subscription and things like that, right? And what it means, it does not bear very much meaning for us within our platform. Is more like indication of how your advertiser will treat your traffic and what they will be paying for. And it has a meaning in condition in terms of smart links, how system behaves when building offers into smart links, and that will pay attention. So now we have three options. So either they paying for leads, they paying for some kind of sales, PPS, or they paying rev share. And next one is payout type. So it's ratio or fixed ratio means you charge publishers commissions on amounts sent by your advertisers. So let's say you have commission set as 80%, which means 80% will be paid to your publisher and 20% will be paid to you. So if your advertiser sends $10, it means you will pay $8 to your publisher and keep $2 for yourself. And you have two options. You can use publisher ratio. For each publisher, you can have a custom ratio. And there is a default ratio where when a publisher registers, the default ratio will apply to them. And for some publishers, you may choose to set individual ratio in their publisher accounts, which we will look in next series. But also, you can set up default payout rate. So basically, it will be forced on all the publishers, and without regard what is default publisher ratio in the system, or what is the default, what their individual publisher ratios. If you configure not to use publisher ratio, it means you will provide default one. Let's say it's 80%. So next we select default currency, and default currency only you have only option between currencies you configure when setting up advertiser account. So we select the main currency, which is US dollar. We could also select some other currencies like euro, for example. Then for a particular offer, you can choose one of the currencies you configure for advertiser account. In our case, we configured only one, so we only have a choice of US dollar in this case. Total daily cap is a number of conversions within last 24 hours that will be accepted and paid by an advertiser. So basically, if you send more traffic after, let's say they said we're only paying for 100 conversions, right, per day, per 24 hours. If you send more traffic, they will accept it, but most likely they're not going to pay it, or they're going to pay in half or in part, or maybe not to pay at all. Maybe they give you no warning, don't send us more traffic, send more traffic next day, and so on and so forth. It's more often happen for PPL offers rather than PPS or F share. Probably will never happen for F share, but sometimes it can happen for PPS offers too. But usually it's more relevant for PPL offers. And there is a last setting here, which is generate leads. And just to get back very shortly to total daily cap. So what happens after 100 conversions have been received in the last 24 hours? Basically, it means this offer won't accept any more traffic. So the fallback mechanism will be used, which we reviewed just before we start talking about this. And generate leads is a feature that will generate lead information for your publishers for this offer. And lead, it's not necessarily the same as PPL. So basically, in UCLIQ, we treat lead, we call it CPL conversion, and we treat lead when publisher or sorry, advertisers send us a post back with zero value. So the sum is set to zero. So for us, we configure it, we treat it automatically and mark as CPL. So basically, it's information that advertiser has registered the lead, but they're not going to pay for it. So you may choose if you want to show this information to your publishers or not, and you will have it in in a manager panel, but you can find it in reports. There is a tick also to show leads or not. But here you can set whether to generate leads or not for your publisher. So this is basically, we're talking about only zero amount leads where and when advertiser is not going to pay anything for them. If they're using PPL model and they pay you for leads, that goes normal as normal conversion and absolutely will be visible to your publisher in any case. So this is only relevant for zero sum conversions. So let's save it. And here is another section, smart routing. And we only can configure after we activate the offer, and it's only available in pricing plans where you have smart routing capabilities that include smart links, smart fallbacks, smart prelands, so basically all this good stuff. Next very important section is advertiser link. So what is advertiser link? Basically, this is a link given to you by your advertiser. So usually how it works, you log into advertiser panel and you pick an offer or a smart link, and they give you URL that you have to put in your offer here in UCLIQ as an advertiser link. So how it works, you just copy paste it here. Then what you need to do is to configure some parameters. So basically, we will look into more details in a separate video, how to configure and test them. But for now, let's say it's something like HTTPS, sorry, myoffer.com slash, let's say, offer ID equals something, and let's say click ID equals something. So what you have to make sure, and all this is the parameters that actually you can configure in advertiser account as URL parameters. So if you configure them, they will be reused in all offers you assign for this advertiser account. So in this particular example, offer ID is fixed, so we don't need to do anything. And this is something that your advertiser will explicitly tell you, you have to use this. But click ID is something that we have to pass as a parameter. So what we have to do here, we have to use the name of parameter supplied by your advertiser, exactly how it's specified in their example. Usually they generate a link for you, and you just need to not to change the name of parameter, but to change some of the values that you're going to put, and you use macros here. So you can see all the information about this macros we can use, but basically the most important one is click ID. So you have to put the name and equal sign, and then you just click on a parameter you want to put. So we will put a click ID, and that's a format. Maybe your advertiser will not call it click ID. Maybe they call it sometimes CID, right? So this part of the parameter, the name of parameter, should be exactly how it's provided by your advertiser, and information, the value for the parameter should be coming from this list. So because this is the information, this macro, let's say it's macro, will be replaced with real information, with real click ID, which is a long number. So it's like ID setting, and so real traffic will not be coming with this uh, curly brackets. It will be actually the real click ID information. And you can use some other parameters, but it all depends what your advertiser supports and what they need for this particular traffic. So this is not again for postback. This is to where to send traffic coming to a platform when the click is generated. This is where system will send your traffic, and this is data parameters that it will provide to your advertiser. And the most important one is always a click ID. Obviously, this link is not going to work because I just faked it, but yeah, domain is not available, of course. Let's just put google.com because we try to validate the software, obviously, when you add it, because it's easy to make a mistake. Okay, advertiser links. So we have a link, and we will look into testing this stuff later. But to test it, we actually need a valid working offer. But instead of creating one, I will show you one of the offers we have in the system that actually is perfect for this kind of testing. Now we have additional information here, which is custom payout rates, custom daily cap. This is functionality not available to all plans. It's additional functionality, and we will look into it in a separate video. But just to go briefly through it, basically it means depending on your financial setting and your payout type, you can set individual payout rates based on all those present parameters. So if you have default uh, payout type set as ratio, it means you can specify individual ratio for different settings or targeting parameters rather. So you can select, oh, I want to use this advertiser for all countries and for SEO traffic and coming from mobile device and only from Mac, which is basically iPhone. I want to give him not 80%, but I want to give him 85%. So there is an individual rate. You can select multiple publishers, you can select multiple parameters, but this rate will only work when all those parameters met. So if information is traffic is coming from publisher one, but it has different traffic type or from different device or from different country, then rather than specify it in this rule, it means the rule is not going to be applied. If no rule is found, then the default information you set up in financial section will be applied. That's why it's called default. So, and another one is custom daily cap. So we already reviewed total daily cap. This is a maximum amount of conversions per 24 hours specified by advertiser. But you can put individual daily caps for some of the publishers. So let's say for publisher yellow, we want to put 10 conversions per day. And for publisher blue, we want to put 50. So they will have individual limits. So before we check in for total daily cap, we also check in for custom daily caps for specific publishers. And this is a section where you can actually upload prelands, depending again on your tariff plan and functionality available to you. It can be smart or it can be static. And it depends on how this prelands will be selected. But what is a preland? Basically, is just a intermediary landing page on our platform where shown to the traffic, to the visitor, before he's being transferred to the final offer by advertiser. So preland is where the click is generated. If you choose not to have prelands, and you don't have to have them, and in many cases probably you wouldn't, uh, the click will be generated basically automatically. It still will be click, but it will be immediately redirect to your advertiser offer link. So yeah, we can look, let's say, we cannot select smart because smart routing is not enabled, but we can select direct. And here we can upload or add from list. So we have a list here and we can add from there. So that's a preland. You have like information about this preland, devices it will be shown to, categories, tags are used for smart preland routing and default locale, and you have HTML, and you can enable, disable it. And you can put, depending again on your plan, you can put extra functionality like lead generation. You can collect leads. You can do some JavaScripts. You can do pretty extensive. So it's pretty much a full-blown landing page, and you can link resources from your hosting side or from outside, basically, including scripts, CSS, images, and so on and so forth. And the last section here is publisher availability. We will look into it later because it's quite extensive section, and it also ties up with offer availability, which can be also configured via tag system. Let's finish for now, and let's change status to new. So offer status is changed. Now, when offer is new, we can actually schedule activation. So we can select date and time when offer, which is only available in status new, will become active, because new is fully prepared offer. Draft is just a basic information entry. It is not fully prepared, but automatically this new offer can be turned into active and appear in publisher. Let's manually put it to active now. When offer is inactive, you can actually schedule disactivation. So it will put it uh, back from active status to new. Also, what you can do, you can disable offer and you can archive offer. So it will become disabled and archived. So that's pretty much it in first initial steps on how to configure your offer. The last thing I want to do is to show how this offer will look to your publishers. So we can impersonate any publisher, go into publisher section, and clicking on actions against this publisher, and we call it impersonate. So this is a publisher panel, and we can see our offer if we configure it properly in offer section. So we can see it's here. It's test offer, test category, $5. Status is available. The model is PPL, all devices, all countries. So let's launch it. Before we launch, we need to have a domain available. So there will be another video on how to configure your domains in the platform, but you have two types of domains. System domains, once you configure in a management platform, that will be available to all or some of your publishers. And those are second level domains like something.com, for example. And publishers can also add their own private domains, and they will all be only will be available to use by themselves, so nobody else will be able to use them. And here you have a list of all private domains plus two least used domains available for this type of campaign, which is an offer campaign. We will look into it later, but for now, let's say we want to select something, you know. And when you launch an offer, obviously you need to select a traffic type. Let's say we want to put SEO. So now offer is launched. And what we have here, we have information about, we have domain, we can change it if we want, and we have a link. And we can add more tracking parameters to this link to supply more information. Um, this is a static links, and so let's say, so it's not really macros, it's more like parameters, and you can generate these parameters from your website, or you can put them manually if you just post it somewhere. And let's say I want to put as a sub source is media campaign. Okay, so I will know this traffic I may use same link in many places, but this traffic is actually going as part of my media campaign. So we can copy it, save, and this is a link where we will post to our uh, media campaigns, advertisement campaigns, and so on and so forth. This is a link that people will actually click. Let's just try it. So this is a preland that we configured. It's only one button. Just show me how. And now, because we created this improper offer link, we just put Google, and you see Google just wants to, because I'm Czech Republic, so basically it's in Czech, in case you're wondering. But it's not relevant. It's not important right now. What we see, we have parameters we configured. So you see, you have offer ID, you have click ID. This is how it looks. This is how you push traffic to your advertisers. So they will have to be able to recognize these parameters, and they will, if you configure them properly and you take them from their publisher panel, advertiser publisher panel, and they will get this information, and they will use this information, specifically click ID, to generate postbacks. We will look into next video how to configure postbacks and how to test them. And this is it for now. Thank you.